Social media has become an integral part of our lives, allowing us to connect with friends, with families, and even with strangers from all over the world. But with this connectivity comes risks, as hackers continuously find ways to infiltrate our accounts and steal sensitive information. So how do hackers tend to hack our social medias? And more importantly, how can we prevent it from happening? Now let's break it down. Firstly, let's talk about how hackers target our social media accounts. There are two common methods through which hackers tend to hack us. Now, the first is through social engineering, and the second is phishing attack. For the social engineering, everything you post is studied by a targeted hackers. Out of your every post made, they get a reasonable information about how easy it will be to get close to your heart. That is your kind of friends, your best meals, likes and dislikes, places you visit most frequently, your best songs, and more often the kind of women you like. And once they conclude they have enough to do you harm, they strike using all the info at their disposal, and it will appear like, oh, they are really good at it. And should you get the slightest thought of their tricks, you know why? Because it's social engineering. We'll be telling you how to beat them at their own game later. Now the second method is phishing attack. Hackers will craft convincing emails or message that appears to be from legitimate sources, such as our social media platforms like our Facebook, our YouTube, our Instagrams, and those are trusted contacts like our bank. These messages often contain links to fake login pages where unsuspecting users input their credentials, unknowingly handing them over to the hackers. Now we'll show you a video where this phishing attack is in progress and an animation depicting how phishing attack works. We'll be showing you in this video. Please watch. To add to the two methods I mentioned earlier, social engineering and phishing attacks, another tactic used by hackers is brute force attack. In these attacks, hackers use automated softwares to repeatedly guess passwords until they find the correct one. This method is more time consuming but can be effective, especially if users have weak or easily guessable passwords. Furthermore, hackers may exploit vulnerabilities in social media platforms themselves. These vulnerabilities can range from insecure APIs to flaws in authentication mechanisms, providing hackers with backdoor access to user accounts. Now that we understand how hackers operate, let's discuss how we can prevent social media hacking. Remember, you've been watching ATN TECK on Atlantic Television Network. How to prevent social media hacking? Now, the first method is to use strong password. The first and the most important step is to use strong, unique password for each of your social media accounts. Avoid using easily guessable passwords like password 123, 123456, and consider using a password manager to generate and store complex password securely. Now, you see some persons, they want to open a Facebook page or Facebook account. We would ask them to input password. They will write password 123 or they will write 12345. Now they forget that most of these things, and they will keep on opening new Facebook account, new Instagram account every day by day, because they are using easy passwords.
Yes.
So one of the methods that they can prevent those hacks is to use strong passwords. Strong password like combination of your birthday, combination like the birthday, the month, and the year. Like in the sense that if they gave birth to you on the 2nd of January, for instance, you can use 2 as in figure, then ND to add with it as second, then January as JAN, then the year, maybe 1954. You can use 19, you spell it 19 out, then 54 in figures. Those methods can also help, like those kind of strong passwords. You can also give some examples of strong passwords.
Yeah, the thing is that even the social media account now has been some points. I think they've changed their pattern in which once you're creating your account, you put your password. You see the line, they'll tell you that your password should be mixed with numbers, alphabet, and alphanumeric. So, in other words, they are trying to protect your account for you.
Yes.
So, when you're creating your account, this should come at the back of your mind that I should be able to mix up my password, not just 1, 2, 3, 4, as you said earlier on, but it should be alphanumeric. You have a capital letter, a small letter, numbers. You can also use alphabets or symbols.
Yeah,
special characters. You know, that gives you an edge over the hackers, which they will find it difficult for them to guess and also to hack into your account.
Yes. When, in essence, all we've said is that when creating these accounts, try to use strong password, alphanumeric, capital letters, that is uppercase and lowercase. And in some of these social media platforms these days, you observe that when you are typing your password, they will tell you your password is still weak.
Yes.
So when they say your password is too weak, it's still weak, try to combine capital letters, that's uppercase, lowercase, that's small letters, alphanumeric, combine it and make it look strong. Use special characters like the heart, and so on and so forth. This will help to protect your account.
Yeah.
So please, if you maybe you can go back now to change those password 123, 456 that you have used, change it to something more stronger. Definitely. Like your even your birthday is not even strong, but there's a way you can arrange it to make it stronger.
Yeah, the thing, if you're using your birthday for your password, to me, I think there's every possibility of you being vulnerable to hackers, because they get your informations.
No, like what I mean
in the sense that they know that your birth, like on Facebook, you see some people, once you go to their profile, you see their birth month, February 10, 1979, and sometimes these hackers they play around with all these informations. So
but these days, how many persons use their real date of birth on Facebook?
But a lot of people still make use of their birthday, you know. But these are the informations that once you provide that information, the hackers tend to play around those information because they cannot guess.
Yes.
So they intend to play around those information pending when they're able to get it right and for them to have access to your
the reason why I say they can use their birthdays is because most persons tend to forget those strong passwords. Once they create it, I've used a strong password. The next maybe they want to log into a new device, they tend to forget. Now, what I mean by that is that using your birth month or your birthday, for instance, they give it to you 2nd of January 1974, for instance, you can use the second at 1954. You have added a special character to it. Maybe 2nd at January at 1954. This adding all those special characters will help it to make it look stronger and harder to guess. You can add hyphens to it, and so on and so forth.
Sometimes you also have people that are closer to you. If you're married, you have your husband, you have your relatives, your cousins.
People you love,
you can also use their name.
There's no way hackers can be able to guess that. So use a strong password today. Now the second method that we'll be talking about is make use of two-factor authentication. Enable two-factor authentication whenever possible. Two-factor authentication adds extra layer of security by requiring users to provide a second form of verification, such as a code sent to your mobile phone in addition to their password. Note that different social media platforms have different two-factor authentication process. Be cautious of phishing attempts. Always double check the sender's email address or their URL if any links before clicking on them, especially if they are asking for sensitive information like passwords or account details. Most of the hacks we've had on our social media accounts in the past is as a result of clicking on any emails that we see, of any links we see on social media. We just see a link that they say federal government is paying 2,000 naira. We just click. Not minding where it's from. We see a link on Facebook, we click. We see a link on Instagram, we click. Now, making use of two-factor authentication. It will help you after you have input there your strong password. Facebook or Instagram will still send you a code to your phone. Now, without that code, there is no way they are giving you access to
log in.
To log in. Most persons, they neglect two-factor authentication. You say, oh, I'm using a strong password already. But that's not enough. You can still use your two-factor authentication and it will still go a long way.
Definitely. Is a good one if you have if you can make use of two-factor authentication for your account. But the thing is that it's not every account you use two-factor authentication for. Especially the ones you can use it is your WhatsApp or Facebook. You know, outside of Facebook and WhatsApp, that is where you cannot make use of two-factor authentication.
I think most of the platforms, like our email addresses, you also use two-factor. Our bank apps, you also use two-factor authentication.
But outside that, you know, so it's a good thing if you can make use of two-factor authentication, because it will also help to give you a secure and a relaxable mind. You know, you don't have to panic
before anything happens. You must receive the information either in your email or on your phone. So make use of two-factor authentication today.
Passwords are everywhere. We use them to access our money, our communications, even our social lives. At first, we used one password for everything, but that wasn't good enough, so we started making our passwords even more complicated and began using password managers to organize the dozens or hundreds of the unique passwords we used. But no matter how complex our password system was, it was never enough to prevent account takeover, because all it took was one phishing email or database exploit, and your password was out in the world. So, if passwords are impossible to protect on their own, what do we do? That's where two-factor authentication comes in. Two-factor authentication, or 2FA, adds a second method of identity verification to secure your accounts. First, the thing you know, your password. Then, something unique that you have, like your phone or fingerprint. By combining your password with one of these factors, attackers can't access your account even if they have your password. The most common 2FA systems use a unique one-time code with every login attempt. This code is tied to your account and generated by a token, smartphone, or sent to you by text message. The more modern and most secure form of 2FA uses a mobile app to send an approval notification to your smartphone or smartwatch for the least hassle possible. With 95% of breaches involving account takeover, two-factor authentication is the most effective method of prevention. It's time for everybody, businesses, governments, and you, to take the easy and effective step of enabling two-factor authentication on all accounts. If it uses a password, it needs to use two-factor authentication.
Remember that video we showed you earlier of phishing attacks? Let's watch it again. That guy in the video received an email from an unknown sender claiming to be from his bank, and immediately he rushed to click, and you can see what happened to him. He started drowning. They took everything from me because of what? Just to click on one unknown email, one link that was not secured, and they asked him for sensitive information about his bank. He rushed to click on it. They asked for his password. He clicked on it, and they took everything from him. He drowned.
Yeah, I remember a few years back, you know, someone will call you and they say they are calling from your bank and you're having an issue with your account, that you should provide your last digit of your ATM and all the rest of it, you know. That's exactly what happened. You know, things like this, you just have to be sure. Yeah, and be conscious. And another thing is that your bank cannot just call you.
Bank cannot just call you.
For that you're having issues with your account. They expect that you should walk up to them.
If you have issues with your bank, you really want to go there to meet them.
Definitely. And for those that receive mails, you know, sometimes this information comes as a mail from banks.
Yes.
And by the time you open it, you should be able to know that your bank cannot send you a mail.
And your bank has been sending you mail, so you check the previous mails to know that, oh, this is coming from my bank.
And it's rare for your bank to send you a mail that you're having issues or you should fill a form concerning your account. They know that you're the one using the account. Peradventure you should have any issues with your account, then you should walk up to them. And that is why they are there to serve you better.
Yeah.
And that is where you have a customer care you can reach out to.
Yes.
But jumping to your system and start filling forms that you're not aware of, you don't even know where the source is coming from, then definitely you're prone to
getting hacked.
Yes.
So let's be careful to avoid crying, to avoid shedding tears,
Definitely.
to avoid heart pain. So let's be very, very careful.
No one likes to be a cliche. And when it comes to your passwords, those predictable words and phrases can be more than embarrassing. They're downright dangerous. Common words or names of kids or pets can be easy to guess. To make matters worse, sophisticated passcode cracking software is now very common, and a simple password can be cracked in milliseconds. It's important to make sure your password is strong enough to withstand an assault. Passphrases are harder to crack and easier to remember. You can use spaces or dashes to set apart the words, which will often count as special characters. Want a password that will outlast the planet? You can create incredibly strong passwords by combining a passphrase with special characters. Each site may have unique requirements for password strength, but most will require a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters. Pick something meaningful and memorable to you, but not so obvious that it's easy to guess. Even the strongest password can be exposed if a social media site or large company has a data breach. Make each password unique by adding a variation at the beginning or end of your passphrase. All this work to come up with a strong password may seem complicated, but much easier than dealing with the aftermath of an account hack or the cost of a financial theft. So here are your important tips. 1. Never write down your password. 2. Use strong passwords that you can remember. 3. Don't use the same password for multiple sites. 4. Never use obvious passwords that others can guess. Remember, no one likes stereotypes, except password thieves. Be sure to share this with your friends and family to make sure they're protected.
Now remember that we've told you that the first method is to use strong password, the second one is to use two-factor authentication. Now the third one is to use updated apps. Use updated apps. And finally, for ways we can prevent these phishing attacks, keep your social media apps and devices up to date with the latest security patches. Most people don't know that developers frequently release updates to fix known vulnerabilities. So make sure to install these updates promptly. Most persons are using phones that are outdated. They forget that their iOS devices, their phones, their developers release updates every time. They release updates. Even the Facebook we are using, 2 to 3 months, new update is up. Our WhatsApp, recently WhatsApp has launched a new update. They have infused their AI into WhatsApp. As they're releasing this update, they are tightening their securities. So let's use updated apps. Some person's phone, some person's Facebook, they're still using Facebook as of 2013. That's not right.
I woke up one morning and I found out that my WhatsApp interface, everything just changed.
Yes.
I was like, what happened? But I didn't do updates. But I remember that, okay, my phone is actually on automatic updates. Any applications that I'm using. So once my data is on, it automatically updates itself.
Yes.
And that is one good thing because we might not have the time to start updating our apps.
Yes.
But by the time your phone is in auto update, your application is in auto update, once your data is on, and once there is a new update on any application you're using on your device, automatically it updates itself, which gives you an edge because in our day-to-day activities, we might not have the time to say, okay, let me check which app that I need to update and not the rest of them. But once your phone is on auto update, it automatically updates your applications for you and saves you the stress of being involved or being attacked by the hackers.
So one way you can always stay up to date, update your apps and the rest, is to go to your app store today, click on automatic updates of these apps. Click on once you own your data and there's a new update on any of the apps you're using, it automatically updates it. Most of us will forget because we are busy persons, we work from morning till night, we work even in the night, we forget to update our apps. So one way you can always update your app is to keep it on automatic update. It will really help. Now, how do we beat the set of hackers who use social engineering? Remember that social engineering is a manipulative way that hackers use to get to us. So now, how do we beat them? We say they use social engineering they study us first of all. They study us. If they know that we like bananas, they will say, oh, they will list it, they will keep it.
Yeah.
They will write it down. If we like this one, they will write it down. They will start studying us. And when they have enough information about us, then they strike. Now, how do we beat these people? Now, the very first method that we can use to beat them is to do the reverse of whatever you know it is true about you, about your personality. That is, if you like apples, you insist that you like bananas. Try not to post your personal details in real time. Most persons, once they go to one of our shopping malls, they post, oh, I'm live at this particular shopping mall. Once they go to this other eatery, I'm live at this particular eatery. They will be posting their information in real time. And these people, they are not sleeping. They will be studying. On Tuesday, she was at this shopping mall. On Wednesday, she was at this shopping mall. And these things, they can use it to get to us. So they can avoid posting their information in real time. If they like bananas, they can be saying, oh, I like apples. There's no way, if somebody that likes banana and is always saying, I like banana, you know, there are some platforms that they will ask you, what's your best food?
Yeah.
They use that as a two-factor authentication. They ask you, what's your best food, what's your best color, and the rest. So, or maybe they will ask you secret question. To type the answer to the secret question. And once you insist, you are always saying you like banana. Those hackers have studied that, oh, your secret question might be, what's your best fruit? And they will write banana there. And the system will just accept it and say, oh, since you have already said you like banana, the first time they are asking you that secret question.
Yeah.
I don't know what you get.
Yeah.
So if you like bananas, you always say, oh, I like apple. So when they type apple there, the system will decline and say,
and one thing with these engineers is that they don't just write down the things. You know, first of all, you know that computer is in codes, and by the time what they intend to do is that once they get your information, they put it down. Sometimes there is this puzzle that we played when we were little. So sometimes they use your name, they use your surname, your date of birth that is in the information provided that is in your database.
Yes.
Now, there is this, they try to play alongside with this puzzle. That is one method which they use. So, in as much as you say you like banana, and they try that, they see that banana didn't work, they look at other things that
That
are
you like.
closer or that you like. So, they take time to study these persons very well and make sure that they are able to, it might not be an interval of 1 month for them to get access to that. In as much as you are on their flag, you know that, okay, this person, we are ready to get this person. So they are ready to do everything possible to make sure that they get this person's account. So if you say you like banana and you don't like banana, they should also consider the fact that they will also play alongside with other informations here, and they try to play a puzzle game with those information you're giving to them. Okay. So we should also be careful with that.
Yes, one thing we should know is that hackers are they are one of the most patient set of people in the world. They can use a whole year to study you just to get to you.
Yes.
They will just be studying you, studying the things you like, the things you post about on social media, and the rest. So let's be very careful with those things. Now, the second things that we can use to beat those people that use social engineering is that when making new and personal researches on your browser, you use incognito tabs. Most of us still fall victim to this one today. They use their normal browser. And hackers can also come through our browsers to get personal information from us. But those incognito tabs, they don't save any of our browsing details. If we go there, maybe we open our email address with our incognito tab. Once we are going there the next time to use it, there's no history, no nothing is there.
Yeah.
So let's try to use incognito tab when making those personal research about us.
Yes.
Because they can also use, through phishing, they can also get those information from...
Yeah.
So let's try our best. I know that with time we get used to this.
And especially if the device you're using is not yours, try not to save your password or any of your information on that device.
Very important.
Because it's not your device. You don't. Why saving your password on that device? So that is one thing. Also, I just remember that now that I decided to. So you should be able to make sure that you don't save your password or any of your information on someone else's device in order not to fall into the hands of the hackers.
I remember when I went somewhere once that I had to log in my Facebook on somebody's phone. And I forgot to log out. As I got home, the first thing I did was to log out from all devices. Log out from all devices instead of calling the person. So maybe you have logged in so many devices and you have forgotten. One thing you can do is to log out from all devices. Most of these our apps, they have that option of logging out from all devices, even the ones you are using that particular time. They log you out, they tell you to put password again. So if maybe you have forgotten to log out from so many devices, you can always log out from all devices. Yes, the third method that we can beat these hackers who use social engineering is to avoid downloading apps that are marked as dangerous to your phone. Most of us will see apps marked as dangerous by our app store and phone service, and we still go ahead to download it. We see this app is harmful to your device. This app is harmful, especially these loan apps. That they get from the loan app, they will get to your contact details from your WhatsApp, this thing from your Facebook. Avoid downloading such apps. We see that it's being marked red. This app is no good. We still go ahead. No, we want to download that particular one.
Yeah. That is one thing we just need to be conscious of that. But except, why I'm using the word except is because you're sure of the app is genuine. If the app is genuine, sometimes most of our machines sees those things as harmful to,
except you are sure
of the source that this source is genuine, then you can go ahead. But for the fact that you're not sure about it, and sometimes our device, especially phones, sometimes tend to pop up some informations or applications that are available, and you don't know about this application. In fact, you don't even know who is the source. You don't know, and you just download it. And sometimes, even if you want to download your app, you should be able to look at the Play Store now. If you go to your Play Store, you should be able to see how many users, how many people are using this app. what is the rating of the app?
Yes.
These are the things you also put into consideration, not just only your phone, also your system. You should be able before make a research on those applications before you install them into any of your application or gadgets.
Okay. Yes. Let me give you a tip. One thing I do when I want to download the app is to check the reviews of people that have used the app before. If I go to my Play Store, I want to download a particular app, I'll check the reviews first. Now, when I check these reviews, I check, okay, what are the previous users saying about this app? Are their reviews good? What happened? Why did they stop using it? Are they still using it? And so on and so forth. So when you want to use a particular, download a particular app from your Play Store, from your Apple Store, make sure you check the reviews. Make sure you check the amount of downloads. You see like 4 or 5 downloads, please run for your life. Most of them might be a phishing attack. They are planning to get to your device. And if we do all these things, these attacks, we avoid them. These methods can help you prevent it. Now, by following these simple steps that we have highlighted here today, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to social media hacking. Remember, staying vigilant and proactive is key to keeping your online account safe and secure.